Hello everyone, welcome back to the X and Y Daily. My name is MBZ as usual, and we're going to be moving on to another Pokemon with some male and female forms. Today, it's going to be Meowstic. So without further ado, let us begin. So, just like Pyro yesterday, Meowstic has two forms, a male and a female, but the difference here, not only are they aesthetically opposed, but they are also technically, or should I say mechanically. Mechanically, they work somewhat differently, although we don't have specifics. But before we get into that, let's talk about their aesthetics. So on the left, we have the female version, and on the right, we have the male version, both of which I really like. So they're based off of cats, I guess. Its name is Meowstic, and meow is kind of a cat. It's a thing cats say. You know, I've chatted to a few cats in my day, and I guess that's something that they would generally say. I'm getting on a tangent here. But they aren't on all fours, they're kind of standing up, got some bushy tails going on, and apparently there is, according to the information that we have, remain shut until something occurs or arouses them. That's really the wrong word. Until they get like scared or some emotion happens, and then they get raised up and all hell breaks loose essentially, which is rather interesting. I'd like to actually see, probably we will see in the actual battle animations, their ears being raised for certain attacks and that kind of thing. But I do like the way that they're kind of diametrically opposed, with the female one being more white with a blue secondary color, and the male one being blue with a white secondary color. It's a nice way to kind of show the difference and put them together, and they seem similar yet starkly opposed. And the funny thing is the female one seems like much more of a badass than the male one does. It has red eyes, it's glaring, it just looks like it's in command. The male one seems somewhat subservient, a little bit kind of scared and anxious or somewhat, which is a nice kind of role reversal, gender reversal even. You usually don't see, you know, usually the male one is the dominant force, but here it is the female, which I definitely think is a good thing. I feel like it's kind of hard to choose between the two, which of them would I prefer. I guess the female one's more kind of appealing to me. I don't know, it's just a kind of a snap judgment, honestly. They are both very similar, but the female one kind of speaks to me a bit more. I don't know why, I just like the look of it. So I guess you guys can let me know which one you prefer, male or female. Let me know in the comments, and have a nice healthy discussion about it. But with that out of the way, with the aesthetics sorted, let's move on to the mechanical differences and the changes that we'll see between these two when it comes to the actual playing of the game. So here is what we currently know. It is a pure psychic type, which is fine. It's not particularly interesting, nor is it particularly detrimental. You know, there are lots of pure psychic types running around, Alakazam probably being the most prominent of them, and yeah, I feel like it suits them. Just looking at them, it makes a lot of sense. I feel like it's not going to have an evolution, and so there's no kind of room for argument of what its secondary potential typing could be if it were to evolve, because I just don't think it's going to have one. You could maybe make a case for normal being a secondary type because of maybe the whiteness and the fact that like cats like Persian have been normal type in the past. That's a possibility. But in all honesty, I don't think it's going to happen, so there's no real reason in thinking about it. Now, its abilities are interesting, though they're not particularly great. Keen Eye is more of an in-game thing because there's, in general, competitive-wise, not many people are using accuracy-lowering moves. If they are, then it's going to be a side effect of another, you know, purely offensive moves, which has, you know, a percentage chance to lower accuracy. And in those cases, it's, you know, it's fine, it helps, but it's not like it's a big deal. Infiltrate is a bit more useful competitive-wise, though it is rather situational. It's dependent, of course, on whether your opponent is using things like reflected light screen, which are the main things that it gets past. And yeah, I mean, if you're having trouble with those situations, then that could be potentially helpful, but I don't really see currently Meowstic, you know, fitting too heavily into the OU scene from what we know currently. Just from its look, I know I'm being somewhat, I guess, not biased, but judgmental by just taking it on pure aesthetics. It doesn't really seem like it would fit in the OU scene. But of course we don't know its stats yet, and stats and moves, the move pool basically tells the entire story, so we'll have to wait and see. Now, in terms of its known moves, we currently have Extrasensory and Miracle Eye. Now, I'm not actually quite sure whether it was revealed that the female one got access to Extrasensory and the male one got access to Miracle Eye, because the main difference that we have between these two, because I haven't fully explained it yet, is that the female one is going to be more offensive. It's going to have a move pool that includes more attacks, whereas the male version is going to have a move pool that includes more support moves. So it would make sense that like Extrasensory would be for the female one and Miracle Eye for the male one, because one is a full-out attack and the other one is a supporting move, pretty clearly. So that is very interesting. I don't think that they're going to have differing stats. I feel like the stats are going to stay the same, but their move pools are going to vary, so you're going to see more offensive sets running the female version, and obviously more defensive kind of support-based thing on the male. And again, it feels like kind of a gender role reversal, which I'm liking so far. It's a very interesting way to go with it. And yeah, so that's basically that. I don't feel like there's anything else that we have to talk about regarding Meowstic, but it's shaping up pretty cool. Certainly, I think design-wise, one of the coolest looking Pokemon we have so far. And I like these different alternative male and female forms that we're getting. I hope to see a lot more of that, honestly, because a lot of the time it doesn't really make sense for them to look exactly the same, Pyroar being the main case there for it, and Meowstic following suit. And with that, we are done with Meowstic. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like below. Tell me what you think. Which do you prefer, male or female Meowstic, and which one would you probably use on your team? Always interested to hear from you guys. And of course, if you would like to hear more of my ramblings and my bullshit, you can follow me on Twitter at LordMBZ. You can go to Facebook/LordMBZ, and I will have things to say. Until tomorrow, have an enjoyable day, and I will see you then. Goodbye.